It seems so dreadful to stay a bachelor, to become an old man, struggling to keep one's dignity while begging for an invitation whenever one wants to spend an evening in company. To lie ill, gazing for weeks into an empty room from the corner where one's bed is, always having to say goodnight at the front door, never to run up a stairway beside one's wife, to have only side doors in one's room, leading into other people's living rooms, having to carry one's supper home in one's hand, having to admire other people's children and not even being allowed to go on saying, "I have none myself." Modeling oneself in appearance and behavior on one or two bachelors, remembered from one's youth. That's how it will be, except that in reality, both today and later, one will stand there with a palpable body and a real head, a real forehead that is for smiting on with one's hand.
I don't know. I cried without being heard. I do not know. If nobody comes, then nobody comes. I've done nobody any harm. Nobody's done me any harm. But nobody will help me. A pack of nobodies. Yet, that isn't all true. Only that nobody helps me. A pack of nobodies would be rather fine on the other hand. I'd love to go on an excursion. Why not? With a pack of nobodies. Into the mountains, of course. Where else? How these nobodies jostle each other. All these lifted arms, linked together. These numberless feet, treading so close. Of course they are all in dress suits. We go gaily. The wind blows through us and the gaps in our company. Our throats swell and are free. In the mountains. It's a wonder that we don't burst into song.
When it looks as if you had made up your mind finally to stay at home for the evening, when you have put on your house jacket and sat down after supper with the light on the table to the piece of work on a game that usually precedes your going to bed, when the weather outside is unpleasant so that staying indoors seems natural, and when you have already been sitting quietly at the table for so long that your departure must occasion surprise to everyone, when besides the stairs are in darkness and the front door locked, and in spite of all that you have started up, in a sudden fit of restlessness, changed your jacket, abruptly dressed yourself for the street, explained that you must go out, and with a few curt words of leave-taking actually gone out, banging the flat door more or less hastily according to the degree of displeasure you think you have left behind you. And when you find yourself once more in the street with limbs swinging extra freely in answer to the unexpected liberty you have procured for them, when as a result of this decisive action you felt concentrated within yourself all the potentialities of decisive action, when you recognize with more than usual significance that your strength is greater than your need to accomplish effortlessly the swiftest of changes and to cope with it, when in this frame of mind you go striding down the long streets, then for that evening you have completely got away from your family, which fades into insubstantiality, while you yourself, a firm, boldly drawn black figure, slapping yourself from a thigh, grow to your true stature. All this is still heightened, if at such a late hour in the evening, you look up a friend to see how he is getting on.
I don't know. I cried without being heard. I do not know. If nobody comes, then nobody comes. I've done nobody any harm. Nobody's done me any harm. But nobody will help me. A pack of nobodies. Yet, that isn't all true. Only that nobody helps me. A pack of nobodies would be rather fine on the other hand. I'd love to go on an excursion. Why not? With a pack of nobodies. Into the mountains. Of course. Where else? How these nobodies jostle each other. All these lifted arms. Linked together. These numberless feet. Treading so close. Of course they are all in dress suits. We go gaily. The wind blows through us and the gaps in our company. Our throats swell and are free. In the mountains. It's a wonder that we don't burst into song.
I stand on the end platform of the tram, completely unsure of my footing in this world. In this town. In my family. Not even casually could I indicate any claims that I might rightly advance in any direction. I have not even any defense to offer for standing on this platform, holding on to the straps, letting myself be carried along by this tram, nor for the people who give way to the tram, or walk quietly along, or stand gazing into shop windows. Nobody asks me to put up a defense, indeed, but that's irrelevant. The tram approaches a stopping place and a girl takes up her position near the step, ready to alight. She is as distinct to me as if I had run my hands over her. She is dressed black. The pleats of her skirt hang almost still. Her blouse is tight and has a collar of white fine meshed lace. Her left hand is braced flat against the side of the tram. The umbrella in her right hand rests on the second top step. Her face is brown. Her nose, slightly pinched at the sides, has a broad round tip. She has a lot of brown hair and stray little tendrils on the right temple. Her small ear is close set, but since I am near her, I can see the whole ridge of a whirl of her right ear and the shadow at the root of it. At that point I ask myself, how is it that she is not amazed at herself? That she keeps her lips closed and makes no such remark?